Hello, Nick. Good afternoon.
Hi, hi. Just getting myself together.
Hi, Nick.
Hello.
We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we can start.
Hi, good afternoon to all.
We'll just wait for 1 more minute. Mr. Sinha is just logging in, and then we can start. Okay, so I think Sinha sir has joined. Hi, sir. So hi everyone, welcome to the second session of the talk series 4 on empowering Anganwadis through e-cooking. Uh, Now I would like to invite Mr. Krishna Kumar Sinha, advisor Finovista and ex DPIIT. Uh, Mr. Sinha with a background in mechanical engineering and specialization in production engineering. He joined Ministry of Commerce and Industry as a technical officer, and over a distinguished 35 years career, he served in various key roles, including positions in automobile industry desk and export promotion cell. However, the last 16 years of his service proved to be the most dynamic and rewarding, as he led foreign direct investment promotion efforts targeting the Americans and CIS countries. And during this period, he gained significant exposure to FDI policy and was actively involved in analysis and handling of FIPB, that is Foreign Investment Promotion Board cases. So, sir, welcome, and you may take forward the session from here.
Thank you, Satyam. I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm really happy and delighted to welcome all the participants who have joined the talk session today, and also welcome the expert panelist for the today's session, which happens to be the second session of phase 4 of the talk series on transitioning to modern energy for cooking. Uh, the topic of today's session, most of you must be aware about this, is the empowering Anganwadis through electric cooking or e-cooking. For your information, those particularly who have joined maybe recently or first time, that this is being organized by the Modern Energy Cooking Services Program of UK through its in-country partner, uh, which is Finovista, with which we are associated. And the objective of this platform of the talk series is to identify, discuss, and explore avenues to address the specific challenges to the transition in cooking in the country, India. Now, About the Modern Energy Cooking Services Program, it's a UK aid funded global research program led by Loughborough University and the World Bank's Energy Sector Management Assistance Program. The program researches the social economic realities of a transition from polluting fuels to a range of modern energy clean fuels. And the research, which is being coordinated by Modern Energy uh, Cooking Services, covers several fuels, not just the electric cooking, but the evidence collected and analysis thereafter done very clearly point to the viability, cost effectiveness, and user satisfaction that electric cooking in particular provide. MECS program is also supporting India to emerge as the global hub for manufacturing e-cooking devices, because that is one of the challenge, availability and affordability of such devices for domestic as well as international market. Now, about Finovista, is a New Delhi-based organization engaged in program management, consultancy, technology transfer, and capacity building in the field of energy, environment, clean cooking, carbon finance, and like. It works with government, both state as well as central government, and development agencies, research institutes, and others across countries. Now, this talk series, which I mentioned, this session happens to be the second session in the phase 4, has evolved into an important global platform over the last 3 years of its initiation, as a global platform for promoting the adoption of modern energy for cooking. It has been successful. I mean, this platform has been successful in bringing several stakeholders from the clean cooking domain and related sectors to engage in discussion on the challenges, opportunities, and policy support which is needed for developing the ecosystem required for implementing the transition to modern energy for cooking in India. So that was about the Finovista, the MECS program, and the talk series. And as I said, the topic of today's is empowering Anganwadis through electric cooking. So let me just very briefly, because the following speakers will be talking about in detail. The government of India, way back in 1975, has started integrated child development services program to combat child hunger and malnutrition, which is now known as the Portion 2.0, and it has been further broadened under this new avatar to cover, I mean, girls as well as women, not just child. So this is the objective. I mean, it covers 6 services altogether, that providing supplementary nutrition, preschool, non-formal education, immunization, health checkup, nutrition, health education, and other referral services. Now, there are about 13.9 lakhs operational center, which we call in general term Anganwadis, across the country, and they provide these services. And one of the largest in the world, it is said to be. Now, these Anganwadis are also facing challenges which are, has a range of, one of them is inadequate infrastructure, limited finance, and limited outreach. So by improving the infrastructure and the modernization will certainly increase the impact of this scheme. Now, one of the requirement or modernization is improvement in the cooking technology or cooking fuel or cooking medium used for cooking meals in this center. Now, the as we know that with the electrification carried out by the government, during the last decades or so. We are quite a nation with a power surplus, and this electric supply has gone up to 23.8 hours in urban areas and 22.5 hours per day in rural area. Now, and with the adoption of induction cook stoves, electric pressure cookers, and other modern appliances, which we all know about it, like microwave oven and others. Now, these modern appliances has the potential to enhance cooking efficiency, and in those centers, lower their operational cost and improve health outcomes naturally. Now, by reducing the operational cost, the finance can be diverted to more important areas of improving the nutritional value of the food which is being cooked there. So that is why it is being promoted that these Anganwadis, which presently uses a variety of fuels ranging from, of course, LPG, but and a lot of them are using biomass also, which is polluting in nature, and kerosene oil and kind of thing. So by transition to these fuels, these Anganwadis will be in a better position to implement their overall objective of the program, beside reducing the carbon emissions and contributing to both environmental goals and long-term energy security of the nation. Now, one more thing which I would like to mention is that the Anganwadis are one of the component of the institutional cooking program. I mean, it is one of the institution which Finovista and MECS have been promoting to use electric cooking. And this will be an important step if we are successful in implementing the transition to electric cooking in these Anganwadis. The overall transition of electric cooking in institutional cooking India will help promote the overall, you say, or accelerate the transition of electric cooking in institution in India, and that will automatically promote and popularize the electric cooking. People will be able to see the immediate impact, the positive impact of that, and will help in overall electric cooking transition. Of course, it has its own challenges, e-cooking in Anganwadis or anywhere else. But I think we have a number of experts who are well versed with those subjects and will be, sharing their experiences, ideas, and suggestion on that. So, in the first our speaker, I would like to invite Ms. Sheetal Rastogi. Uh, Sheetal is the co-founder of Finovista, and she has about 16 years of experience in strategic development and execution across banking and finance sector, also in manufacturing and specialty retail sectors. At Finovista, she leads strategic planning and program execution, driving multiple innovation and entrepreneurship initiatives, including those focused on clean cooking, the Bamboo Innovation Challenge, and women entrepreneurship. Under the MECS program in India, Sheetal has led key initiatives such as the Talk Series and the Modern Energy Cooking Forum, which is an annual event. And she has also spearheaded evidence-building efforts on electric cooking through the India eCookbook, which was brought out, published, and including cooking study design, field trials, and appliance making around Delhi, making her a pivotal force in advancing clean cooking transition. So with my this, I would like to invite Sheetal to present her and address us about and enlighten us on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, and for the introduction and making my work easy. I think you've given a complete overview about the Anganwadi ecosystem and why is it a very pivotal initiative for India and women and child development. Satyam, can you put up the presentation? So, hi all, I would be taking you through a very small presentation, and the idea is, because we have participants who are joining us from other countries apart from India, it's important to give an overview about the Anganwadi ecosystem in India and why it becomes very important for the integrated child development. So, yeah. Uh, just before I start the presentation, small statistical details. So, I think India in early 1980s had 120 out of every 1,000 newly born children were dying before completing 1 year of their life. And when we look at now, there is a recent report that has been released by UNICEF under the UN Interagency Group of Child Mortality Estimation. The report was released in March 2025, and you would be like very happy to share that India reports remarkable achievement in terms of the reduction of under 5 mortality in India, declining from 120 to 28 per thousand live births between 2015 to 2023. The neonatal mortality has dropped from 28 to 17 per thousand live births in the same period between 2015 to 2023. And there have been, the key driver of this is the work that India has done in terms of strengthening the health ecosystem, expanding the access to life-saving interventions, and equitable healthcare, as Mr. Sinha highlighted. But very important is the multi-sectoral approach that India has taken under this initiative, which was erstwhile mentioned as ICDS, Integrated Child Development Services, which was launched way back in 1975. And now it's called as Poshan 2.0 under the new scheme, an initiative which is by the Central Ministry of Women and Child Development under the Poshan Abhiyan. Next slide. Yeah, so little stats about the scheme overall. So like I mentioned that this was launched way back in 1975, and it's now newly named as Poshan 2.0 and Saksham Anganwadis. We have 1.4 million centers of Anganwadis across, India. And, the ICDS scheme has been India's foremost symbol of its commitment towards its children, its response towards challenging of providing preschool education on one hand and breaking the vicious cycle of malnutrition, morbidity, and reducing the learning capacity of the children. Therefore, we see that the current beneficiaries of this entire scheme are children under the age of 6. The scheme also impacts the pregnant and lactating women and adolescent girls under it. Okay. And the scheme is run by the Anganwadi workers and helpers. So typically in one Anganwadi, you will have an Anganwadi worker, you will have an Anganwadi helper, and you will also have an ASHA worker, which is the accredited social health activist, which helps in the community health services for the children, the lactating mothers, and the pregnant women. And again, like I mentioned, that this scheme is an integrated scheme. The aspects of health are definitely integrated under other ministries like National Rural Health Missions, Indian Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Uh, it's important to also understand that how much importance the Anganwadi scheme currently holds. So the ministries in the current budget 82% of the entire budget of Ministry of Women and Child Development has been allocated to this scheme for the modernization of Anganwadis and the other services within this. Again, the modality of the funding of the scheme is that the scheme is managed both by center and state, because states plays a very important role in the implementation of this scheme, and therefore the budget allocation split between the center and the state is 60 to 40%. Satyam, can you move forward? Yeah. So in the new version of the ICDS scheme, where it is termed as Portion 2.0 and Saksham Anganwadis, important to understand that there have been 4 pillars of this scheme. The first, as highlighted by Mr. Sinha already, is the nutrition support which is given under Portion. So all sorts of nutrition supplements which are given to the adolescents, to the children, and to the pregnant women and lactating women. And second important pillar is the early childhood care and education which is given. So there is a holistic curriculum of early learning, because it's the preschool education that's focused over here, and therefore this becomes a very important aspect of the entire initiative. The third important aspect is the infrastructure development of these Anganwadis, from centers who are given energy access to proper buildings, health, sanitation facilities, and also digital facilities within the Anganwadis. And fourth, of course, the overall Poshan Abhiyan, which is to take care of the health integration within the scheme overall. Satyam, next slide. So the revamped version of the scheme has been launched in 2021, and like I already said, that it tackles malnutrition holistically and the early development and education care of the kids. When we look at from the cooking perspective and the kind of meals and the supplements that have been served over here, there are 2 kinds of things. Of course, there is a hot cooked meal which is served in each of the centers, and there are also the provision of taking home rations for the children, to ensure children and both lactating mothers and pregnant women, to ensure that the nutritional requirements are also met at the home. The meals are prepared by the central guidelines of nutrition, in which the calorie intakes, the protein intakes per child and per day are managed, and therefore these meals are holistically cooked to take care of these requirements. Since these Anganwadis are spread across the country, the aspects of local food and cuisines is taken care, and therefore the menus of each and every each Anganwadis in the different states will have variations on the menu. Um the meal preparation for each and every Anganwadi varies. So for some Anganwadis, they are managed by a central kitchen which is servicing them, and there are food packets which are delivered every day at a stipulated time before the meal has to be served to these centers. For other centers, the cooking happens individually at the center, where the Anganwadi worker and the helper are actually responsible for preparing this meal over there in the center. Cooking traditionally happens through LPG, traditional fuels. There are a lot of Anganwadis in India who are still relying on traditional cooking, and we are seeing the forward initiatives of modern energy-based cooking in a lot of states. I would be taking you through some of the initiatives, and we have fellow speakers who are going to be talking that in their uh, respective states. Um, there are an array of dishes which are cooked, but typically we have like porridges, we have khichdis, we have pohas, eggs, and seasonal vegetables which are served along with your fruits. So when we talk about the revamping of the scheme from ICDS to Portion 2.0, we also see that the government of India has taken a very good initiative in terms of building probably the largest technology stack of data, wherein they are pulling data from more than 11 ministries to give an integrated service in terms of nutrition, healthcare, education, and also availing benefits under other schemes as well. So what you see on the scheme on the screen is the screenshots of the live portion tracker which is there. Apologies for the spelling of portion tracker here. Yeah. So you can see over here that it gives a live information of the number of Anganwadis which are active at of time. It clearly gives an understanding of how many states, districts, and what are the number of beneficiaries on a pan-India level. And over there, you can see that there is clearly a place where you can do a sort and filtering and see the statistics state-wise over there. So that becomes very important. The government is also tracking the physical registers for each and every Anganwadi. Can you take me to the next slide? Yeah. So if you see on your screen, you have 4 screenshots. There are integrated resources that the ministry is actually developing. These resources are actually becoming handy to the Anganwadi workers and helpers in terms of them disseminating knowledge about how to take care of the lactating mothers, how to ensure that the education which is being given to the children follows the curriculum. The entire learning methodology is uploaded through video tutorials, and there is a self-learning tool for each and every Anganwadi worker wherein they can see these video tutorials and actually keep confirming that yes, they understand that thing. So there is more and more digital content which is actually disseminated under this portion tracker. Now, what you see on this screen is also a shot where it shows geo fencing. So it's now the operations of Anganwadi are also being very tracked very closely, whether the center is opening on time, whether there is attendance which is being maintained, whether there are all the children who are coming. There is a facial recognition tool also which is now inbuilt in this tracker, which gives a full understanding and full tracking. And here you see the stock register. We couldn't get our hands onto, but you also get the information of the energy stock, the amount of LPG which has been there in the center, if they are storing like the traditional fuels of firewood and biomass over there, they also have to enter that. So that goes into their stock register, and they also keep a tracking of what are the hot meals which are being served, whether they are being served to the people, whether the home-based rations which are given to each and every beneficiary are being given or not. So there is a very big digital stack that the ministry is actually expending the money on and creating to create that digital transparency. Next slide. So Poshan Pakhwara is basically a sensitization tool that the ministry has started under this initiative. So these are basically community sensitization campaigns which are there. On your screen, you can see that there are 4 kinds of major focus areas, which is like it talks about the first 1,000 days of life. It talks about the beneficiary module, what are the things, how the beneficiary can use the app and understand that whether, and report any kind of issues. It also talks about how malnutrition can be tackled, and it talks about the healthy lifestyle to address obesity in children. Aside to that, for our understanding and for the benefit of this forum, Ministry of MOEFCC is basically Environmental and Climate Finance. Ministry of Environment and Climate Finance is basically playing a very important role. They are using this Poshan Pakhwara sensitization campaigns to actually make children understand about sustainability aspects under Mission Life. What you can see on your screen is also that the number of campaigns that MOEFCC has taken forward under Mission Life, where it talks about different sustainability measures, and there have been pioneering states which are like Andhra Pradesh, which are actually leading the forefront about these campaigns, specifically in Anganwadi under Mission Life. Next slide. So when we talk about the environmental sustainability initiatives, there is also a recent mandate by the ministry to start something like a kitchen garden in each of the Anganwadis, and the parents and the teachers as well as the children are taken through multiple activities in these parent-teacher meetings and generally about the environmental consciousness. Next. So when we talk about clean cooking energy, it is also important to understand the kind of meals which are being cooked in the Anganwadis. And when we look at one particular center, so every center is basically operated in a similar kind of a kitchen, which is like a home-based kitchen, where they are, cooking a combination of meals. The pictures that you see on the screen are of Kerala-based Anganwadi, where MECS program and us have actually supported them with respect to doing this training exercise of Anganwadi workers, where electric cooking and with induction and electric pressure cookers had been introduced. So it's very important to understand that the meal sizes and the number of children in each and every Anganwadi are there. It's sufficient that a home-based kitchen, so the kind of vessels of 5 liter, 6 liter capacity are sufficient enough to cook food for a single Anganwadi. Next slide. When we talk about transitioning to electric and solar electric cooking in Anganwadis, we are talking about multiple opportunities over here. Since under the Anganwadi and Poshan scheme, health is a very, very big aspect. We definitely have those better outcomes of improved health with reduced emissions. Of course, when we talk about the fact that there are multiple Anganwadis in India which are still relying on traditional fuels for cooking, and therefore there are huge opportunities of carbon savings and reduction of dependence on these polluting fuels. When we talk about the efficiency of cooking with electricity, we are talking about cost savings. And since every center is procuring their own LPG cylinder, that's something which adds on to the cost of the center, and that can add to a very big cost saving to them. When we are talking about the conditions in which the female workers, the Anganwadi workers are working, and when they are using the traditional fuel of firewood and biomass, we are talking about depleting working conditions and operational inefficiencies, and we can both address them with this kind of a transition. And of course, when we talk about converting the Anganwadis into a smart energy center where we can give them a practical demonstration, we're talking about an early exposure to sustainable initiatives for these people, because integration of these aspects in the early education will add value, since integrated child development and education is a key part of Anganwadi initiatives. I'll stop at that. And with us, we have already got the speakers. So I'm just cutting this short as we already have our speakers from EMC Kerala and EESL, and I was talking about a lot of national initiatives which have recently spanned up in electric cooking, and I'm sure they're going to take it up very elaborately. So over to you, Sinha sir.
Oh, thank you. That was indeed a very comprehensive coverage of the Anganwadi scheme. And we can realize its importance simply by one fact that 82% of the entire budget of that particular ministry goes into this scheme. So that gives an idea of how much importance the government is giving. And the last point which you mentioned about the sustainability awareness being given to the children at that age, and transition to e-cooking will definitely add to that. Definitely. So that was really, I would like now to hand over the floor to Dr. Nick Rousseau for moderating the further discussion with the experts who have already arrived. And let me very briefly tell about Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick has 20 years of experience of working in UK government. His final role was Head of International Innovation Strategy at the Department of Business, Innovation and Skills. Dr. Nick is currently the International Liaison Manager for India as far as Modern Energy Cooking Services Program is concerned. And his consultancy, Unconventional Connection, focuses on innovation collaboration, including work funded by DFID on harnessing the UK's strength in clean energy technology to increase access to clean energy in Africa and Southeast Asia. Nick has a personal interest in sustainable solution to local and global food related challenges. In 2015, he set up a woven network, UK-based network for those working on insect protein. That is another wonderful idea. He holds a Bachelor of Arts, Master in Science, and PhD degree in Psychology from the University of Cambridge, Loughborough, and Sheffield, with a focus on psychology and user-centered system design. Of course, he is well known already to all of us, and I would like to hand over to take it forward. Thank you, Dr. Nick. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha. And thank you for your welcome and introduction. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, very much. Yep. Thank you.
Great. Okay, well, I think the introduction that Sheetal's given explains why we're so excited about the opportunities to work with the Anganwadi network. There's already been a question in the chat. The 1.4 million centres sounds like an incredible number. India is an incredible country, I have to say, and the numbers often are eye-watering. But I think it's actually a testimony to how well organized it is as a country, that they have the kind of data and insight at the local level, which Sheetal was sharing. And it provides great opportunities for programs such as ours to kind of engage and to kind of see change and see opportunities. So I'll just we have quite a few speakers on the panel this afternoon. So I'm going to introduce them all very quickly and invite them all to make their contribution. But before I do that, just to highlight for everyone who's watching and listening, we have the chat function. If you look at the top of your screen or wherever it is on your screen, and I'd invite you all to just say a few words about yourselves in the chat, introduce yourselves, give an email address or any other reference you want to so that we know who's there. It's an increasingly international community that we're building around these webinars, so it's great to understand who's on the line. And we have an international perspective from Jose at in the panel. We're talking about how MECS is working with other countries on institutional cooking as well. Further, if you have any questions, and if we can make time for that, do put them into the chat, and we will endeavour to respond to those either as they come up or in the final session. I suspect this one may run over, given the interest and the topicality of the discussion. I hope you can bear with us and keep going. Okay, all right, that's enough from me. My first panelist is Mr. Animesh Mishra, someone we know very well from the ESL. He is the Chief General Manager and Head of Sales and CCPR at the Energy Efficiency Services Limited, ESL. So Animesh is the At ESL, he's led transformative campaigns, pioneered the Channel Partner Program, and significantly expanded the distribution network. But ESL, as you're no doubt aware, is leading the national campaign around e-cooking and have had a lot of opportunities to work with Anganwadis. So, Mr. Mishra, would you like to take the stage and tell us about your work?
Thank you, Nick. Good afternoon to everybody in India, in this part of Asia, and good morning to Nick and people in the other side who are there watching this. I also would like to thank Sheetal, Vimal, and Sinha sir for holding this talk series, which has become something synonymous with modern electric cooking services in India, and we look forward to such things. Uh, with my less time that I have been able to give to the series, I think ESL has been participative here and cutting that short. Uh, The topic today of Anganwadi is I would just like to say how all this spanned forward, because we had been talking about shifting to go electric, I think 2021, when Honorable Minister of Transport and Honorable Minister of Power launched it through Vigyan Bhavan on December 14th, 5th of February. And Go Electric campaign was meant to be for mobility as well as cooking. And from there, the focus which people were doing was trying to transform India and Indian cooking system via driving them towards electric cooking. And this electric cooking system has been there for quite some time in India, but it was not taking it off. And then when UKMEX and ESL joined hands somewhere there, we made an agreement and MOU was signed in the presence of our friend Nick and his team. We realized that we have to see where people are using cylinders and LPGs and PNGs for mass cooking, but not a mega cooking. By mega cooking, I mean the hotels and the canteens and the hospitals. Those all go into institutional. But the adoption comes when the single unit, double unit cook stove, induction cook stove is taken off the shelf from a shop and are started to be used. And the lowest hanging fruit which we found was schools and colleges and basically the transit resident people who are migratory resident to one town to another town, especially in India, bachelors, spinsters. Having targeted that market, we were just looking here in the Indian side, but that was done and people had started taking it. But again, the way we want the adoption to go is basically that it has to be a mass scale also. And then there we sat down in ESL and chalked down that let's target Anganwadis. And we took out the figure. We approached 542 MPs of India. We wrote letters to them that with the funds that they have for their constituency, they should fund the at least as a pilot 2,000 Anganwadis across in their state, which is a minuscule number, which would be, but for every constituency, it might be a good number. And very gladly, the MP from Ladakh and Tripura picked it up, and they have deployed through their funds. And we are very happy to share that the usage has also been done, because we have been told the problems now they are facing using the electric cooking, and we are now in the next stage we are solving that. And that is how, when we constituted the plan to pitch it to Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, who is a very tech savvy chief ministers of all the chief ministers, he simply said, go ahead. And then 55,000 Anganwadis was given to us to be serviced with induction cooking. and there we are also providing utensils. So the basic problem here is that people across India are skeptical about the utensils, but the main thing is that the utensils usage actually discourages the people from buying and using induction, because they have utensils also which are non-ferrous and non-induction friendly. But once we go and explain them, as we have done in Ladakh and Tripura and now in Andhra Pradesh, people are very eager to use this because it's even very friendly. And the learning is that induction cooking has to be done along with the induction suitable cook stove, cookware, and that will be one of our learning. And I think it is shaping up well, and many more states have now approached us after the lot of media coverage that we have received from Andhra and probably Telangana, Odisha, and Jharkhand is joining in the same thing. Thank you, Nick.
Right. Thank you, Animesh. Thank you for being very concise. Okay, we're now going to hear from the industry. Mr. Sunil Kumar BS, who's the National Product Head of Induction Cooktop and Rice Cookers at V-Guard Industries Limited. With over 20 years of service at the company, he brings more than 14 years of specialized experience in the marketing and sales of induction cookers across India. So, Mr. Kumar, would you like to take the stage, turn your camera on, and tell us about what you're doing and the lessons you're learning about working with Anganwadis? Thank you. And do keep adding comments to the chat.
Yeah, Nick, thank you. And thank you, Finovista, for giving an opportunity for a company like V-Guard Industries Limited. Just I will give a brief. V-Guard Industries Limited is a public limited company. It is based from Kerala, Kochi. Okay, so we are a electrical and appliance manufacturers, and we have a strong marketing network and a strong service backup all over India. So I am very happy and proud moment for me and our company, especially to participate in the Empowering Anganwadis through e-cooking. So I really thank our ESL team as well as the Energy Management Center team from Kerala also. So we, as everyone knows that we already started associating with the Energy Management Center Kerala. We already started supplying induction cooktop to the Anganwadis in Kerala. So I am very surprised to hear that almost 1.4 million billion, almost around 14 lakhs Anganwadis are there in India. So that means each state is having around 30,000 plus Anganwadis all over India. So we are very happy and it is a proud moment for us to associate with the Energy Management Center as well as the ESL. Now we are associated with ESL, and as per the directive from the ESL, we are going to start supplying induction cooktops to the Anganwadis in Andhra Pradesh also. So I'm coming to the induction cooktop. It is very safe when compared to us. Chidal madam told that there is a safety concern on the employees as well as the childrens in Anganwadi. Induction cooktop is very safe. And nowadays, everyone knows that this solar panels. Solar panel is spreading everywhere in India. Okay, India is one of the fastest growing market for solar panels, solar power. So now the power sufficiency is more in India, and it is getting sufficient in the some selected states also. So in the coming future, that induction cooktop will be a part of cooking in modern Indian kitchen. So that we are also sure that because we are seeing a massive sales numbers increasing and sales requirements, and people also households also changing from all the traditional firewoods cooking and biogas and fossil cooking. They're changing because this induction cooktop is flameless cooking, so it is safe. And as well as that is a portable, the thing cleaning, easily cleanable, and all these aspects is it's really a good product. And in Anganwadis also, it gives a more security to the even children also. So if an Anganwadi is using firewoods or the gas, there is a chance of burning the hand also and the part of the body of the children if they are going to touch or something like that. Even in the Anganwadi workers also, there is a chance of safety. Safety is a major concern. But while using induction cooktop, everything is safe. There will not be any flame. If they can go and touch and nothing will happen. So, and now after the introduction of this government of India introduction of these type of modern electric cookings, so definitely it will help the emission of carbons in the it will control it can control the emissions of carbon in the atmosphere also. So it will be very friendly for the atmosphere. It will be very helpful for the safety measures also. So definitely from a company point of view, it is a good initiative, and we are also proud to be a part of this thing. And as animates from ESL told that there is a concern on vessels. So in induction cooktop, all the vessels cannot be used. That is the only one thing. But now, as a supportive measures, ESL also started giving these vessels also because mainly aluminium, mainly SS vessel is using SS and copper vessel can use in induction cooktop. So and induction base cookware also can use. So ESL is also providing that. That is a good initiative because if we are giving one induction cooker to an Anganwadi and with the vessel, it is very helpful for them to cook everything in the induction cooktop. So all these things, this thing and empowering Anganwadi is not about better meals. It is giving a better lives also in all times, including safety and all. Okay, thank you, Mr. Amit.
Thank you very much. Yes, and absolutely, we totally endorse all those benefits of electric cooking. And induction cooking is just one of many different technologies. It's become very widespread in India rather. And in fact, I have an induction cooker in my home. But there are other also very energy efficient options, so it's worth looking around. Okay. My next panelist is Mr. Ashish Jindal, who's Senior Coordinator for India at SE for All. He is a sustainability and climate change professional with over 14 years' experience in energy efficiency and clean energy. At SE for All, he manages initiatives aimed at doubling energy efficiency efforts in India, including action plans, large-scale investments, and utility demand flexibility programs aligned with the G20 agenda. So over to you, Mr. Jindal. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick, and thank you to the MECS program and Finovista for the opportunity to contribute to this important dialogue on advancing electric cooking in Anganwadis. I think it is a privilege to be part of this collective effort that aligns clean energy solution with public health, gender equity, and institutional resilience. So at SE for All, we see e-cooking as a vital component of the global clean cooking activities and work, and it aligns with our mission to ensure sustainable energy for all by 2030, which is also SDG 7. And we basically focus around policy and planning, evidence generation, market enablement, finance and de-risking, and working in Africa and Asia, for example, in Kenya, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Nepal, and others. And since it's Anganwadi, so already few deployments have happened in schools, health centers, and community institution, which linking with nutrition, education, and public health program. So overall, we think institutional cooking is a powerful entry point for behavior change in household and communities. So now, like why Anganwadis matter, we discussed, and there's a lot of you can say huge numbers, close to 1.4 million Anganwadi centers, and we know that these centers represent a unique opportunity for scalable intervention through the wider outreach and maybe essential service delivery model, because not only Anganwadi's e-cooking has to be penetrated, in residential and other sectors also. So this is going to play a very important role. That is one. Now we have heard and we know that there are a lot of pilots happened already. There is a you can say programs from Kerala. The Kerala state government has championed around it. Similarly, ESL has done in 3 states and also going to do in couple of more states. So the idea is how this program could lead to maybe more deployment and more penetration, which leads to e-cooking adoption. So around this, I have 3-4 thoughts which I would like to share, and I think that is more around, you can say, financing. So one model which was like shared by Mr. Animesh Mishra ji around the MP-led scheme. So how basically other could be how you can say upfront capital support or financing models could be worked around, maybe whether it is about public-private model or CSR funding that could support in uptaking these implementation. Second is like, do we need or through some local procurement rules or how maybe more and more intervention, more and more you can say this can happen in Anganwadis, maybe at the central level through the Ministry of Women Child and maybe with others. I think it's good to have a programmatic approach and at a central level and state level how both can work together. Third thing is on the training and capacity. I think I could see that training is a part of like the Kerala program, but how overall you can say ease of use, maintenance, and safety could be actually a module which could be developed, which can lead to more you can say comfort level of those people who are adopting it. And the next is around, because industry has an important role to play around supply chain enablement, how local manufacturing and supply of institutional grade cook stove or maybe induction cookers are like maybe electric cookers to support the scale. So overall, I think uh, my thoughts are like, let's treat every Anganwadi as a model for the energy transition at the last mile, and we are happy to collaborate with our experience from Africa, and also we are working we have started working on under our mission efficiency program in various states on energy efficiency implementation and demand flexibility. So this holds a very closer collaboration linking for this program. Yeah. So thanks for the opportunity and looking forward to hear more.
Thank you, Mr. Jindal. And yeah, there are very good points. I think thinking strategically about this is really valuable because there is so much that we could achieve through working with the Anganwadis, but we need to make the right connections, don't we? Okay, so you touched on Kerala as being one of the states that's leading the way here. So I'm very pleased that we have Mr. Sandeep K, who's an energy technologist from the Energy Management Centre Kerala, EMC. He has over 15 years of expertise in the energy sector, and his work focuses on optimizing energy use across sectors through data-driven strategies, technology integration, and sustainable practices. And I know Finovista work closely with the team at EMC Kerala and really see them as being really proactive in this area. And I think there's a lot that everyone can learn from their experience as they take this forward. So very pleased to hear your contribution here, Mr. Sandeep.
Thank you, Nick and Finovista for inviting me for this Energy Management Center for this talk. So first of all, I will give a brief introduction about Energy Management Center. So Energy Management Center is the state designated agency of Bureau of Energy Efficiency for implementing Energy Conservation Act in the state. So we have Energy Management Center is established in 1996. From then onwards, we are working in the field of energy efficiency and conservation. So as directed by Bureau of Energy Efficiency, now we are into new schemes, Go Electric scheme, which has been announced by Bureau of Energy Efficiencies. So as directed by them, an Energy Management Center has successfully taken up the Go Electric campaign. So Go Electric campaigns includes two components. So one is electric vehicles promotion and electric cooking promotion. So electric vehicle promotion we have successfully done, and as per the statistics, now Kerala stands in third rank. So Kerala is the third largest EV market in India. So coming to electric cooking, while we were thinking how we can penetrate this electric cooking into the market, or how we can penetrate into the community. So we initially thought of households, domestic sectors for deploying the induction cookers. But the problem with Kerala power scenario is that around 50% of the consumption is by domestic consumers, and the main consumption is from evening 6 to 10. So introduction and this is the time, this is the peak time where we lack the supply of energy or electricity. So introducing more induction cooker into domestic sector will lead to more need for more electricity. So what done was that we shifted this into the area where cooking is done in daytime. So we selected Anganwadi, and initially for going for mass level implementation, what we done was that we selected 5 Anganwadi in Trivandrum area, and implemented on a pilot basis. So first pilot was done in May 2023, so near our office. So we gave them induction cookers. So while induction cooker was given, what they told was that with induction cooker alone, they cannot go forward. They need utensils for cooking. So we added the induction based utensils also into the scheme. So likewise, we started the initially pilot was done, and they were very satisfied. And in addition to this, if while introducing induction cooker into the Anganwadi, the electricity consumption will be more, and this electricity the bill for the electricity was paid by the local self government. So to reduce that, we added 2 kilowatt solar plant. So during in Anganwadis, cooking is mainly done in daytime. So adding solar to the scheme reduce the consumption. Now the consumption is that is energy cost for electricity cost has reduced to zero with introduction of solar power plant. So then we added. Can you hear? Hello.
Yes, we can hear. Please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So likewise, we move forward with this program, and the program is named as Angan Jyoti. So another important thing is that this project is the first of its kind in nation, and this project has linked 5 schemes or interventions of the central government, which is Go Electric campaign for promoting electric cooking, Sustainable Development Goal, that is promotion of renewable energy by introduction of 2 kilowatt solar power plant, then standards and labeling. So in addition to this solar induction cooker and power plant, we have given them energy efficient. That is, old inefficient electric fans and LEDs were replaced with more energy efficient BLDC fans, brushless DC fans, and energy efficient LED lights were also introduced in this scheme later. So these were given in the initial 5 Anganwadis where we done the pilot. We done the pilot. In addition to this, we added another scheme of central government is that India Cooling Action Plan. So this was also introduced later. So cool roofing system was introduced, and this in 5 Anganwadis we have painted the cool roof, painted the roof with solar reflective paints, so that heat also can be reduced inside the Anganwadis, so that the children will be inside the Anganwadi will be more comfortable. Then another one is Digital India scheme. So IoT enabled charging system was also given in these 5 Anganwadis. So altogether 5 schemes. So initially we started with induction cooker, then solar, and later as a package we introduced all these 5 schemes of government of India and made it as the project called Anganjyoti. So after the pilot project, based on the positive response from the Anganwadi teachers, so one of their major, they were very happy that they could use fans inside the kitchen, because while using LPG, as it is open flame, they need they were standing in that heat and they could not use the fans. So while by introducing induction cooker, they could use fans, and also by introducing induction cooker, it gives more safety to the children, as there is no open flame. The children will not directly go to the kitchen and will get burnt like when they use LPG stoves. So that also reduce. Then another is that so we tried to make Anganwadis. So Anganwadis is the, as Sinha sir told, that Anganwadi is the grassroots level institution where children from various sectors come. So we tried to make Anganwadi as a grassroots level energy efficiency experience center, where they can see and feel all these technologies, that is BLDC fan, energy efficient lighting, then renewable energy system, then electric cooking, all they can see and can understand, so that they can adopt. So it will penetrate more into the households of these students, and penetration can be made more easier.
Right.
So now
Thank you.
the pilot we have done into assembly constituencies, Chittoor and Kalkuttam, and in 91 panchayats all over Kerala. All around 3,000 Anganwadis are we have implemented Anganjyoti projects. And in Kerala there is around 33,115 Anganwadis. So to implement this project in all Anganwadis, we need more funding, and we are trying to, as speaker from SC for All told, we are trying to get CSR funding and funding from MLAs, then MPs. So for all MLAs, we have written the letters, and MPs also we have tried to approach for funding, and from Bureau of Energy central funding also we have tried. So altogether, we are the main problem is funding for implementing these projects. So that's all. And another one, so in addition to this Anganwadi, another one this electric cooking project is we have implemented an mass cooking system in our northern state, Kasaragod. So Mr. Kumar from Finovista has visited during the inauguration. So in that, it's a mass cooking system. Around 300 students are given food. Noon meals are given. So there we have implement 25 kilowatt solar power plant and a steam-based cooking system. So that also we are planning, and also to implement to other schools also where midday meals are given. So this is our schemes in electric cooking.
Thank you very much. No, there's a lot going on. It's very exciting, and it's fabulous that you're sharing your learning with everyone. And in fact, that's quite a nice connection point, what you're doing in schools, to the next speaker. I'm conscious that we've run over time. I hope people can stay with us. But I also would point out that we are We are getting some people on the chat telling us who they are and making connections, and hopefully going forward together. So do use the chat if you'd like to reach out and make connections or ask a question. Our last panelist is Jose Luis Ortega Moreno. He is a program and research assistant at the Modern Energy Cooking Solutions program, MECS. He has an MSc in International Development and Humanitarian Emergencies from the London School of Economics, and his previous professional experience at the United Nations War Child and the Halo Trust. And Jose is going to introduce us to some of the wider work that MEC's doing on institutional cooking in other countries. So, Jose, would you like to turn your camera on and tell us about the work that we're doing in other countries?
Nick, thank you for the introduction, and thank you for Finovista for inviting me to the event to speak in. So as Nick said, I'm a program and research assistant at MECS, and I also serve as the lead for institutional cooking. So MECS is currently running 2 major demonstrator projects for clean cooking transitions within institutional settings, funded by the by UK aid through the British High Commissions in Tanzania and Uganda. So in Tanzania, MECS runs a demonstrator alongside WFP and SC4All. And the phase 1 of this demonstrator project is focused on delivering electric cooking solutions for 50 schools and around 10,000 students. And this project, the project that we're running has a very high scalability potential, as there's over 5,000 schools in Tanzania that are both connected to the national grid and have an existing school feeding program. But currently, 99% of schools in Tanzania with school feeding programs either cook with charcoal or firewood. The government of Tanzania has a very ambitious clean cooking target for institutional settings because it aims to provide every institution with over 100 people with clean cooking energy solutions as a priority. And this is part of the wider plan to promote clean cooking access to 80% of its population by 2034. In Uganda, MECS runs another demonstrator targeting over 100 schools, transitioning them from cooking with biomass to cooking with electricity. And for this, MECS actually has elaborated our own comprehensive baseline study surveys targeting the school cooks, the school management, and electricians. We've also developed some cooking diaries that are being implemented across the different schools to capture the different cooking practices and the school menus to ensure that the electric appliances fit the needs of the school that are being targeted. And currently, this is the most comprehensive survey that has been rolled out. And whilst they are targeting, these surveys are targeting the Ugandan context in this case, we are trying to develop these surveys to create more broader ones that can and other broader resources that can be used by our partners in different contexts. And this is an important development because until now, a lot of the surveys that were being used across institutional settings were based on household surveys, and there's a lot of different specific needs within school feeding that are not the same. So we're trying to create something more comprehensive through our work in Uganda that can be rolled out to all the different contexts. And that work is ongoing, and hopefully we can share these broader studies, these broader surveys at some point in the following months. The Ugandan demonstrators it's still in its initial phase, and we're ensuring that all the data collected can be effectively used for a successful transition to eCooking, making sure that the appliances that were going to be used in the schools can target the specific needs of what is being produced in the kitchen. MECS is also working in some other contexts with institutional cooking. So, for example, in Kenya, we partnered with NZNV and NDEF to provide e-cooking solutions to 4 schools and 1 hospital in the Kakuma Kalobeye refugee complex. And we also in Kenya have collaborated with Rockefeller, Clasp, and Ekobora, which is a local company that customizes e-cooking appliances based on the needs of institutions. And with all of them, we've piloted some e-cooking appliances in some schools with feeding programs too. And we've not only looked at e-cooking within institutional settings and school settings, but we've also partnered with WFP in Malawi, where they have rolled out a clean cooking transition program for schools, cooking with biomass to cooking with biogas, and that's across 10 schools in Malawi. These schools have now fully transitioned. I think it's been running for maybe 6 months, and MECS is supporting WFP on their data analysis and disseminating the lessons learned from that. And something actually we've seen in the baseline surveys and the cooking diaries is that for biogas transition, we need to address different needs. And there's some additional questions that have been raised and different to the needs for electric cooking. So this is something that we need to implement across surveys, specifically when we want to transition toward when schools want to do projects transition into biogas rather than electricity, for example. We also have written quite a few blogs on the MECS website on institutional cooking, which I'll share now in the chat so everyone can look at them. And we also published a high-profile report also on institutional cooking, which I'll share now with everyone. And right now, the work that is ongoing right now from my side is we're making this set of briefs and a blog looking at the background on school feeding, on the school feeding context across Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and showing the high potential for wide electric cooking across the institutional settings in these countries. And we're also going to publish a guidance note on how to approach transitions towards electric cooking for schools, and that will also be shared through our website and our set of resources. Thank you. Back to you, Nick.
Great, thanks, Jose. So lots of resources coming your way. So you're going to put links to them in the chat. That's really helpful. Thank you. I think there is a lot that we can learn from each other, from different countries, different experiences, and different scales. And I think, as a number of people have said, it's really important to start by understanding the cooking needs within the different contexts, because they are materially different to domestic cooking. And the other thing that I think has been a theme through this is the benefit for the actual cook, the comfort, the safety, actually the efficiency of cooking with modern energy fuels is really something which I think people appreciate. And if they are local people from the community who are contract cooks or who are part of the team at the Anganwadi, and they go back to their own homes and neighborhoods and start talking about the wonders of electric cooking, I think that's also a powerful lever for change and transition. So, and I think it's worthwhile companies that are providing electric cooking solutions to Anganwadis to make sure there is a way in which people in the local area can access those technologies themselves, because obviously it's a kind of form of marketing for what you're able to offer people. Okay, we've not had very many questions in the chat, so I'm assuming that there's not lots of questions that people want to burningly ask, and we have run over. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Sinar again, who's going to wrap up. But I hope you found this helpful, and we'll look forward to further discussions on this really important topic.
Thank you, Dr. Nick, for moderating the discussion. We have 5 panelists today, and all of them coming from different backgrounds, providing us information which are very useful for, designing a strategy for further transition to electric cooking in the country, and especially in Anganwadi and institutional cooking. In particular, I would also finally like to thank each panelist, Mr. Animesh Mishraji from EESL, Mr. Sunil Kumar from VGuard, Mr. Ashish Jindal from C4, Mr. Sandeep from Energy Management Center, Government of Kerala, and Mr. Josh from Modern Energy Cooking Services. And thank you very much for all of all experts for providing us information. Different aspect of transition, which the challenges and opportunities are there. So with that, I would like to end this session, and I would only say that stay tuned, because we will come shortly with a new topic in the next talk session very shortly. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good.